Hi everybody, this is Julia Martin with the Flying Cat. Wanted to talk to you today about grounding and personal power. So we are doing a group class on Monday nights and it is called Intuitive Power Grounding. So the theme is on grounding, and next month in August we'll be focusing on personal power. So that class will be called Intuitive Strength, Personal Power. So our root chakra is located at the bottom of the body, and it goes down into the earth, and it is about our relationship with the earth. All of our chakras are about a relationship. Our solar plexus is a couple inches above the navel, and it is about our relationship to ourselves. These are two areas that, in my experience and in our culture in America, I personally see and believe that we have so much work to do. There's a lot of reacting that people do out of weak solar plexus area. This is also an area that can be really vulnerable and subject to influence from external experiences, ideas, other people, places, things. So if you're not clear about your inside persona and how you feel about yourself, you're going to get hit even harder when somebody says something that you take the wrong way, or we take things, personally, or we feel immediately defensive. And if we don't even know that that's what's happening, then it just kind of turns into a big tangle of what I have come to know as hucha. And hucha is a word from the Quechua language, and it's a phonetic language, so there's no, right way to spell it, just so you know. But hucha is disordered energy. And I'd say right now we're pretty surrounded by hucha. And so this work is really important because we create hucha within our own selves by thinking things, feeling things, doing or not doing things that are not in line with our own healthy and ordered energy. And when we're feeling particularly influenced by outside circumstances, triggered in fear, that's a big one. It's just a big pot of stew that is just like the perfect storm for creating just more and more and more. So it's really, really important, especially right now, always, but especially right now in the climate that we're in, that is so fear-based, that, we could go sideways so easily on any given day. And maybe you've been depressed and anxious and frustrated and confused for months now. So I don't blame you at all. It's very confusing what's going on in the world. But what we can do is work with our own energy. What we can do is right here, right now. And we're focusing on grounding because at this time in our culture in America, in my view, again, what it looks like to me is that we are becoming completely ungrounded. Our root is being pulled up for a good reason, to look at, to address the original wounds of our culture, our country, and as a collective, not just here in America, but all across the world as well. So we are doing this class for 3 weeks. We're spending the month of July essentially looking at grounding techniques and what that means to you and how it works, and that's just a blip. So I don't expect anybody who is in this course or who's just thinking about what's grounding and what does that mean to me to have anything figured out by the end of this course. The whole point of this course is just to get you thinking about it, to get you like, okay, we're moving from the way things were, whatever that was, to something else. And we are not nearly close to there yet. So when I work with people on the table and they go deep, most people do because they're coming for that reason, they become ungrounded. When you're on the table, when you are your energy is shifting in a big, profound way, one, you get really out of it. A lot of people just fall asleep and go deep, which is great. That's really good for healing. So if you're feeling like you just need to sleep for days, that might be okay. You know, I'm not here to advise you on that, but if you're feeling like your energy is shifting, then that can be helpful. So when people are on the table, they go deep, and their root chakra, that connection to the earth, it becomes not disconnected, but it's just not there because I'm working with the energy, because we're not in the physical. And you'll find that kind of state like in between sleep, like when you're falling asleep or if you're taking a nap and you're kind of in between that state. And that's kind of the practice of lucid dreaming and the practice of shamanic journey and healing work happens in that place. So this kind of liminal space between being awake fully and being asleep totally. And that's kind of where we are as a culture right now, because we don't know what it's going to look like on the other side. It's going to be minute by minute, sometimes day by day. And if you are uprooted like that from your norms, and then there's a whole bunch of outside influences, maybe triggering fear and worry and projections about the future and stuff like that, then we just get into that fight or flight state, and then we get exhausted, and we're confused. So finding your grounding practices, whatever that is for you, it's probably going to be different than it was in January, February, before, the pandemic really hit America here. And it'll probably be very different from the fall and the next year. And honestly, this whole process probably is going to take at least 10 years to just play out. So we are right in that like really intense period. So number one, just really taking good care of yourself. Whatever that means to you. And what that means to me is getting enough sleep and eating really nutritious food. And that's a lot of work for me. I have to work really hard to remember and then to show up and to find that, get that food, put it together, not just go out and order something, but, and that's even harder at this time, which is, maybe it's a blessing, I don't know, but just getting that good nutrition, taking care of my physical body. So as I said, I do energy work. That's really more my area of comfort, is in energy and mental kind of projecting and journey work and meditation and stuff like that. So thinking about the physical, the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual, and where my strengths are, where your strengths are in those areas where you tend to live, in your day-to-day. Thinking about balancing through all of those things. So for me, it's a lot. It's been a lot this whole year, since even before the pandemic came to town, just taking care of my physical body. That was really my work at the start of this year anyway, so it's really become clear as to that that's just even more and more important for myself, so that I can continue to show up and continue to kind of just roll with the punches, because stuff's just going to keep shifting. It's unpredictable. We don't know what's going to happen, but we are here, and we can be here, and we can choose, minute at a time, one day at a time, how we're going to take care of ourselves, how we're going to sit in our bodies, how we're going to feed ourselves, what we're going to take in. And I'm talking, social media, news, and all that as well, mentally, emotionally. If you're overloaded, it's okay to take a break, It's okay to take care of yourself like that, whatever you need. So maybe sit with all that, and I hope that that helps you right now. Because I don't have the answers, but I have lots of practices that I'm happy to share in class and in person. If you want to do a 30-minute consult with me, I have those available just to check in and with people who maybe haven't met me before, haven't done a class, or are interested in a guidance session or energy healing, feel free to reach out to me and request a 30-minute consult or a guidance session if you're ready, or energy work. So I did a previous video about the nuts and bolts of all of that, so I'll link to that as well. Thanks, guys. I will be making more videos about what I do and these kinds of thoughts and practices, and what I think is helpful for myself and others. So enjoy your weekend. Bye.